Hello, and welcome to Cloud Operations at Scale with AWS Managed Services. My name is Paul Fredrickson. I'm a Specialist Solutions Architect for AWS Managed Services, and joining me is Sriram Iyer, an Enterprise Infrastructure and Solutions Director for FieldCore. And today we're going to be talking about AWS Managed Services and how it helped FieldCore scale up their operations in the cloud. So our agenda today, we're going to be talking about common challenges for cloud operations at scale. We'll introduce you to Sriram, who will be talking about FieldCore, their operational challenges, the solutions that they came with, their next steps, and then we'll end the session with key takeaways. But first, let's talk about common challenges with cloud operations at scale. During a customer's cloud adoption journey, these are challenges that can prevent them from realizing their business objectives. Some of these include lack of an in-house cloud operations skills. And the people with those skills tend to be focused on higher order work rather than day-to-day cloud infrastructure operations. Migrations at scale can get stalled due to operational readiness. Infrastructure bill shock due to an absence of enterprise end-to-end cost management procedures. And AWS best practices as a service, absence of end-to-end runbooks for application and infrastructure incidents and failures. In the end, customers want to do a few things. They want to elevate their operational excellence and security. They're looking for augmentation into their cloud teams and operations for incidents and operations. And they want to improve operational performance and reduce costs. They want to have access to cloud operations that have deep specialization in operations. And they want to increase speed and innovation to reach their business objectives. AMS helps these customers meet their business objectives in these ways. We help provide operational excellence. We help with security monitoring, incident management, and response. We're also helping augment their operations and platforms teams. We're extending and helping your customers scale in operations. It's also cost effective. With learning the lessons that AMS has learned in our journey and learning the lessons of operations in the cloud, we're able to provide an improved operational performance and proactively achieve cost savings on behalf of the customer. We're also bringing in cloud experts. We have a focused delivery team that is going to ensure that you have access to cloud experts when needed in the case of incidents. And then we're also bringing along speed and innovation. We're a cloud-ready operations service that can be ready, and you will see value in that service in as little as 10 days. In the end, AMS is bringing innovation and customer obsession to operations. We're bringing in over 150 security and operational guardrails and compliance checks. We're doing incident detection on behalf of the customer. We're finding 78% of incidents proactively. And when we do have to take action, all that action is automated. 96.7% of our actions are automated. We're providing timely updates, 100% patch conformance with security updates with operating systems, and cost optimization. We are proactively looking for ways to reduce costs on behalf of the customer. And then, of course, deep AWS integration. We're an AWS service team. We're operated by AWS, and we're providing the experts needed to provide operations on behalf of the customer. And a lot of that we do via automation. And how do we do this automation? As with most operations, we're taking that manual work and looking for opportunities to create automations. Creating these automations provide consistent outcomes and efficiency on behalf of the customer. This provides a good experience for the customer. So we're providing these operations and automations in specific focus areas, and 10 of them specifically. We have security response. We're doing monitoring and we're alerting on events. We're deployment automation as far as the service is concerned. We're providing operating system patching, backup and disaster recovery, and operational tooling. And AMS Accelerate comes with a few features. We've got safety mechanisms through preventative and detective controls. We're doing proactive incident response backup and help desk. We're operating pre-existing workloads. This is important as you don't need to migrate existing workloads into a new service. We're operating in existing AWS accounts. We're helping provide reporting and auditing for any action that AMS is taking on behalf of you in your accounts. Operating system patching. We're able to onboard quickly. And not only do we just onboard into your accounts, we're providing game days and helping you realize the value of AMS Accelerate in your environment. AMS Accelerate is taking advantage of native AWS services. These aren't bespoke services behind the scenes. For instance, backup is accomplished through AWS Backup. We're providing patches through Systems Manager, etc. We do have the option of adding additional operational capabilities as part of AMS Accelerate. One of those options includes AWS Control Tower operations, and that's done through our Operations on Demand program. As part of the service, you are assigned two named individuals, one being a cloud service delivery manager who is a business partner within AMS, and then also a cloud architect who is a technical resource named to your account. This is a pay-as-you-go service. So this is a month-to-month service. You're paying for what you need and for what you use. And of course, as part of this, we're providing an augmentation into your team, and we're trying to scale your team. And as part of that, it's continuous learning and communication between AMS and the customer. And with that, I will pass the baton off to Sriram, who will be talking about his experience with FieldCore and AMS.
Thank you, Paul. A brief history of FieldCore. FieldCore is an independent industrial field services organization focused on world-class execution across the power generation sector. Our team includes more than 10,000 of the foremost experts in field services, all focused on one thing: delivering excellent outcomes for our customers. Our core values of safety, integrity, quality, and inclusion are the foundation of everything we do to empower the people who power the planet. FieldCore maintains and upgrades power generation equipment across multiple segments such as wind, hydro, aeroderivatives, gas turbines, steam turbines, nuclear. We maintain and support 1/3 of world's electricity generation and execute about 2,000 outages annually. Here is our global employee footprint. We pride ourselves in local expertise and global reach with offices on 5 continents. We perform about 100,000 mobilizations yearly, which is moving people from one job site to another, and 25% are cross-border mobilizations across 100 countries. Along with people management, tooling operations is a big component of our core operations, supporting and managing 40 tooling centers across 6 continents. FieldCore aligns IT functions with business strategy using Run, Differentiate, Innovate model. We'll start with the Run model. Run IT operations as a service is foundational. Everything we do to keep the lights on, such as backup and restore, patching, high availability, disaster recovery, fall in this category. First and second level IT infrastructure, application support and operations also belong here. Moving on to the next layer, differentiate IT. The focus is on efficiency and value drivers. IT projects and programs, second or third level of infrastructure and application support fall in this category. The goal is to improve employee experience by creating opportunities for people to grow and advance in their careers. 80% of employees' time should be spent here, and the look ahead is typically 1 to 2 years from concept to production. Finally, innovate IT. This is all about building digital capabilities. Innovation, experimental work includes asset tracking using IoT, augmented reality, virtual reality, wearables are some of the areas where we are doing some work. Look ahead is typically 2 to 3 years from concept to production. So what are the key takeaways? Today's innovation is tomorrow's differentiation. Today's differentiation is tomorrow's run IT. This is a continuous cycle. As the foundation continues to expand, it is critical that we have sustainable operating rhythms and metrics that align with our strategic goals. FieldCore was formed in 2017, and it was a merger of 3 GE legacy field services businesses. Initially, the focus was on global process simplification and standardization. The IT strategy was to migrate to a common platform, which we knew was a 3 to 4 year business transformation effort. We ran our legacy systems in our co-location data centers in Tampa and Atlanta, but they were not cost effective. We were unable to meet our stakeholders' expectations due to lack of 24/7 support and aging hardware. Manual patching would sometimes lead to human error as well. Although we had an enterprise vulnerability management program in place, there was no compliance monitoring against NIST standards as it exists today. Due to lack of automation, we were unable to perform DR drills as often as we would have liked before and after the hurricane season. Due to constant firefighting to keep the lights on, we were unable to focus on delivering continuous business value and innovation. Contractor turnover and poor quality of third-party resources led to frustrated end users. So we had to reimagine how we want to operate in the cloud. Upskilling the team was a top priority, but we knew it will take time. We believe in 70-20-10 model for learning and development, where 70% of the learnings will happen working on real tasks and problems rather than just taking training and attending courses. We did not want to operate our cloud environment in the same way we ran our on-premise environment, which was mostly reactive. Given the multitude of products and services that AWS offers, we did not have a good understanding of the AWS services we wanted to use, what to monitor, or how to cost optimize. Reliability of the payroll and supply chain systems was the highest priority since we had both legal and contractual obligations to meet. Automation was a new concept to us. We wanted to implement the best practices from the get-go, but did not know how. Business was expecting faster turnaround times, and we were unable to keep up with their expectations due to limited staff size and some services requiring advanced skills. Bottom line, we had to learn to give up control and bring in cloud operations experts since cloud operations was not our core competency. We decided to go with AMS Accelerate service. After all, who better to support AWS than AWS? In my view, AMS Accelerate empowered us by providing flexibility and control on how we want to run our cloud operations. We were part of the beta program last year. We provided continuous feedback based on our experience and felt that AWS was listening to us as they fine-tuned their offering to support our needs. I would like to touch on a couple of areas on this slide. 24/7 coverage. Here's an example we ran into with our SAP clustering patching, which failed over a weekend maintenance. AMS support team worked alongside with the FieldCore IT team to figure out the root cause of issue. Together they determined they needed to bring in the experts from SUSE Linux and AMS level 2 engineers to work side by side to figure out the root cause. What we really liked was the seamless transition that happened from one shift to the next shift. Bottom line, AMS brought in the subject matter experts when we needed them. AMS offers one-stop shop support for us. I will give you an example again. We have a critical time entry system that was giving connection timeout issues. We logged a case with AMS. AMS determined that we need to bring in the premium support engineers from Cognito, Fargate, and API Gateway. Together, they worked on the issue and resolved the problem. The key thing to note here is that this is not even an AWS or AMS managed environment, but they decided to help us out anyway. Few other areas where the AMS team added value. We had a glue job which failed, and the AMS team was engaged. They looked at the audit trail, figured out it was an IAM permission issue. Similarly, whenever we needed any scripting help, AMS team was readily available to help us by providing step-by-step guidance. Onboarding AMS was smooth and fast. It took 2 to 3 weeks to onboard the team and about a month to figure out or troubleshoot teething issues. Installation of monitoring, automatic remediation, config rules, and other services were automated through CloudFormation templates. Security and game days. As Paul mentioned, AMS Accelerate operationalizes security with 150 plus security guardrails and compliance checks in place. Robust preparation through game days, if a security event were to occur, is something that AMS can facilitate. We are planning to have a ransomware game day attack, which is a tabletop exercise designed to understand how to respond to a ransomware security investigation. Incident detection. AMS provides 24/7 by 365 proactive and reactive support to address service requests and incidents. We have a SLA which was met 99.7% of the time. AMS proactively opened 55% of the cases even before we knew there was an issue. Backups. AMS creates, monitors, and stores snapshots for AWS services supported by AWS Backup. This is in 100% compliance with our backup policies. Also, we have an internal patch compliance requirement of 90%. AMS not only helped to meet this target, but also reduced the patching cycle time by more than 50% by leveraging automation. Cost optimization. Our cloud service delivery manager provide recommendations to optimize our AWS usage and cost. This is to ensure we get the most out of the investment. Per recommendation, we saved 21% when we migrated from GP2 to GP3 and about 10% by right-sizing the EC2 instances. Resource tagger. Automated tagging rules made it easier to comply with GE tagging requirements. We are working on other opportunities to use tagging for automation purposes. What next? Integrating our ServiceNow ticketing system with AMS case management would solve a lot of issues for us. It will eliminate the swivel chair approach that we have today, where an end user opens a ticket and our IT engineers rekey that information in AMS case management solution. Seamless transition from professional services to AMS for continued operations and support as we continue to bring on additional workload. Use VPC peering to reduce data transfer charges and minimize latency. Implement multi-region disaster recovery for our critical Tier 1 systems. Treat data as an asset in a common ecosystem by eliminating data silos to gain valuable insights. SAP Cluster Management, we would like to automate zero downtime, outage-less patching to meet our payroll system requirements. Proactive and preventative monitoring of cluster health, setting up alarms to notify and prevent service impact are all part of our initiative for next year. Thanks for the opportunity to present with you, Paul. Turning it over to you.
And the key takeaways out of this is really you just need to understand your IT operations strategy early in your cloud journey. You want to design your operational operation model around your strategy. And you want to look for a partner that can augment your operations and application teams. Thank you for joining our Cloud Operations at Scale with AWS Managed Services. I hope you've gotten some information on how AWS Managed Services can help you perform cloud operations at scale.